hot topic today, guys. It's patience in business, or how much time does change take? How much before you can see results in business? Roll the intro and I'll see you after that. Okay, so this is a question that I get asked a lot of times, and it's something that I struggled with in the past. How long should I wait before I can say that something works? Obviously, there's the works word missing from there. That's because I totally forgot to add it, but you can fill in the blanks, right? Okay, so first things first, change is hard. You have to understand this whenever you're starting something. Whatever it is, especially if it's something big, it's gonna be hard. So no matter if it's business, no matter if it's personal related, change is hard because human brains are wired to love comfort and repetitive patterns. And when you break that cycle, it becomes hard for our brains. But if we acknowledge this, it makes everything easier because we know how to combat it. And I'm a strong believer in goal setting and milestones along the way, along your journey, right? And it not only motivates you to continue, but it also tells you when you're on the right track or not, so you can always adjust, right? And when it comes to patience in business, I've created this timeline, which you can screenshot and you can use it. You can just print it out somewhere and you just remember whenever it's time to make a decision on after you implemented something. So first things first, after 21 days, you should be able to see a glimpse of results or a small change. So this is 21 days from the moment you've implemented something, be that in personal life or professional life, right? And I think the best way here is to use an example. Let's say you create an offer and you want to test that. If that offer stands any chance after 21 days that you focused on selling that and you focused on refining it and all that, you should see some interest from your target market. Maybe some people consider it, maybe some even buy it. It doesn't mean it has to be profitable at 21-day mark. I'm not saying it. I'm just saying that if your offer is any good after 21 days, you should at least see something, right? There's a glimpse of results. It is a small change. There is something, right? And at the 90-day mark, this is when you should be able to see results. You should have people signing up for that offer. Even more people will start considering your offer, and you should have already received some feedback about it. In most cases, I would say you're profitable. It doesn't mean you are like insanely profitable, but you should at least see some perspective on that as well. And then there's the 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, and 20 years mark. This is why I said that it doesn't really mean you're completely profitable at a 90 days mark, because it depends a lot on how big the change is. And let me explain this. I'll take actually two examples here. First one, let's say you want to lose 15 pounds, right? You want to go back to the gym, lose the 15 pounds you've gained during the pandemic. I'm no personal trainer, so I cannot give you health advice. I can only talk from my experience, right? But I can say that with a high level of certainty that achieving that in just 21 days is hard or maybe even impossible. But losing 15 pounds in 90 days, well, that's totally doable. You have to probably get a personal trainer, get on a diet, exercise regularly, and in 90 days, you'll be able to lose 15 pounds in a healthy way. Again, I'm no personal trainer, but from my experience, I know that to be true. Whereas let's take a second example and see how fast change happens here. In a second example, we'll take Apple. Let's say Apple, the company Apple, wants to retire all their products except iPhones. Not sure why would they do that, but let's assume this, right? And if they would ever have to do that, right, they have to consider, first of all, layoffs for the other departments. You do not need the Macintosh department anymore. You do not need the iPad department anymore. You do not need the macOS department anymore. You don't need all those people, right? You have to create a whole new marketing strategy because you're no longer making computers and iPads and all that. You're only making iPhones now. You still have to offer support for the users that have a warranty or some sort of extended coverage for any other device but an iPhone, right? You also have to start canceling most of your vendor contracts. You don't need parts for an iMac. You don't need parts for an iPad. You don't need parts for an Apple Watch anymore, right? You don't need all of those. You have to cancel all of those contracts. And maybe those contracts have some clauses that you cannot cancel them for another 2 years or something. And so on and on and on it goes, right? So implementing such a change would not take 21 days, would not take 90 days, would not take 1 year. Most likely it will not take 3 years. I would say this is somewhere in between 5 to 10 years to be because you also have to leave a mark on people, right? Because right now we know Apple as this company which makes computers, makes tablets, makes watches, makes phones. So you have to rebrand yourself maybe into this company that only makes phones, right? Only makes iPhones. So the change here takes a lot of time. This is why I cannot stress this enough. Patience is key. I mean, I feel like this has been overused and it's all over the place now, but it's so true. Like a tree does not grow overnight. So it's the same with your new offer or with the Apple change or whatever. It won't happen overnight. You have to give it time. I know it's hard as an entrepreneur because as an entrepreneur, your brain is wired to go fast, right? To crush your limits, to always find new ideas and new ways of helping out people. But as long as you put in the work and give it time, I promise you that whatever change you're trying to implement, it will work, or you will find exactly why it didn't work so you can change that and try it again. And now I'm curious again, how about you? How much time do you give your new habits or strategies before calling them off, before saying like, I'm not trying this anymore, right? So how much time do you give yourself? I'd love to see your answers in the comment section below. I'll make sure to read every one of them. We'll see you in the next video.